Jets have unique and complicated aerodynamic traits. The airlines are going to expect you to be familiar with them. I'm going to get you up to speed. Good morning, pilots and aviation lovers. I'm Jamie, and if you're preparing for an airline interview, you've probably been exposed to all kinds of information about aerodynamics. But with the airlines, you're going to be dealing with bigger aircraft, so there's a good chance you've never been exposed to the larger aircraft, the swept wing design, or altitudes above 12,000 feet. The planes used in the airlines go faster and climb higher than most GA aircraft. With this increased performance comes a whole new set of aerodynamic traits. So this video assumes that you're proficient up to the private pilot level. If you're not, or you'd just like the review, click on this here and you can watch my video on the basic aerodynamic traits. Alright, so first, let's talk about swept wings. So most normal aircraft in the GA world have straight wings, like this. Swept wings are kind of angled from the front to the back, like this. Now, there are several advantages to swept wings. They produce less drag and therefore are faster and more efficient. The downside to that is they also produce less lift. That means that they're going to rely very heavily on flaps and slats, and they're also going to require you to have faster approach speeds. This design also is far more susceptible to Dutch rolls. So what are Dutch rolls? A Dutch roll is a combination of rolling and yawing oscillations that normally occur when the dihedral effects are more powerful than the directional stability of the aircraft. So when a swept wing aircraft begins to yaw, let's say to the right, the left wing is going to become less swept in relation to the wind. It's going to then generate more lift, which is going to cause it to lift up, causing a roll towards the yawed side. At some point, the vertical stabilizer will reach a point where it can no longer yaw to that side. At this point, it will begin to swing back towards the middle and then yaw to the other side. As it does this, the opposite wing now will be less swept, will create more lift, and will begin to roll the opposite direction. Now, this is dangerous because it has the potential to get more potentiated with each pass around, and you can lose control of your aircraft. So how do we prevent this? There is a device called a yaw damper, and its sole purpose in life is to prevent Dutch rolls. Now, this is an automatic device. You won't have to do anything, and should it fail, each company is going to have their own specific SOPs on how to handle that situation. The general gist of it is that you want to slow the plane down, use very, very gentle controls to bring the plane back into a straight and level flight. The big thing on here is to not agitate the pendulum effect by over-controlling the aircraft. Next up we have critical Mach number, or critical Mach. So this refers to the speed where at least some of the air flowing over the wing will reach the speed of sound, but not exceed it. Now the reason I say some of the air, not all of the air, is because not all of the air is traveling at a constant speed. Now, if we think about how lift is generated and how Bernoulli's principle works, the air that travels over the top of the airfoil will be traveling faster than the air below. And that is what makes it possible for wind at the leading edge of the wing to be below the speed of sound, but the wind traveling over the top of the wing to be going above the speed of sound. So how does this apply to real-world flying? So as the air that's traveling over the top of the wing exceeds the speed of sound, it's going to start to create shock waves. These shock waves can cause wings to stall, control surfaces to become less effective, or just flat-out ineffective. Now the critical Mach will be different for every type of aircraft. More specifically, it'll be different for different wing designs. Now, the thicker the wing and the more curvature of the airfoil will lower the critical Mach number, and that's simply due to the acceleration factor of those designs. Okay, so now that you understand critical Mach, let's talk about Mach tuck. So Mach tuck occurs when the center of pressure moves rearward on the aircraft, causing it to start a nose-down pitch attitude. So specifically, as the plane exceeds critical Mach, the shock waves are going to move rearward, and the lift created just forward of those shock waves is going to move rearward with it. As this pushes up on the plane in the rear, it's going to push down on the plane in the front. In a worst case scenario, the horizontal stabilizers will also exceed critical Mach, and they will start producing shock waves of their own. Okay, so the best way to recover from this is to slow your plane down below the critical Mach. but the best case scenario is to avoid it from the beginning. Alright, next up we got Coffin Corner. So we know that as you increase your altitude, the density of the air is going to decrease. As air density decreases, your stall speed is going to go up. Eventually you're going to reach an altitude where any reduction in speed is going to cause you to stall. But any increase in speed is going to cause you to exceed your critical Mach. This is obviously an extremely dangerous position to be in. Now, the only way to get out of this is to slowly descend your plane, monitoring your airspeed extremely closely to make sure you neither stall nor exceed critical Mach until you can get to an altitude where you're not trapped in that little corner. Coffin Corner. Well, that's it for today, party people. I'm getting real close to ATP school, only 9 more days. Gonna be heading down to Dallas for that. They did a last minute change in both the date and the location. If you have any questions about anything you saw today, or you think you can explain any of these concepts better, I'd love to see them down in the comments. Now, these videos do take a lot of time and effort to put together. I don't make any money off of it, I just enjoy doing it. So if you'd like to support me and the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video or the channel with anybody you think might be interested. It's never too late for somebody to start their aviation journey. And remember, it's never too late to be what you might have been. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jamie, and I'll see you next time.